So hi, welcome back to today. I'm going to carry on talking about fear because I've had some questions about it relating to what if it's really feels real. So for instance, and I know this firsthand, and if you look at my Facebook group, I tell the story of the dentist. So I was really scared of the dentist, like really terrified. Like my thinking, which I didn't realise at the time, I kind of knew it was me thinking, but what I didn't see at the time, it was a story I made up with my thinking about the dentist. And the story I made up was a horror story, of course. But I didn't see that. I really believed what I was feeling, this fear about going to the dentist. I really thought it was about the dentist. So you can take anything you're fearful, whether it's the dentist, hospitals, needles, flying, whatever you think, well, this is really real. It isn't just me thinking. I'm sweating, I'm shaking, I'm crying. This is what I was doing, going to the dentist. And it feels real, there's no denying, because that's what we're meant to feel. We think a fear, we believe a fear, and we get an experience of fear. And the experience of fear is a shaking and the crying or whatever else comes to you. So when I was sat in the dentist chair after avoiding, because that's another thing we do with fear, we avoid it. So as long as you can, until I got really bad tooth pain and an abscess. Went to the doctors for tablets for the abscess, hoping that would do the trick and I wouldn't have to visit this torturer dentist. But I did. And I'm so glad now that I did before I lost all my teeth. But anyway, I went to the dentist and I was really scared. My husband had to take me and almost push me through the door. I couldn't walk through on my own. And anyone who has a bad fear of anything or a phobia will know what I'm talking about. So as I was sat in the dentist chair, now this is just your first appointment, unless there's something really bad. They don't do anything in your first appointment, they just look. So this was my first appointment. If I'm just looking, which felt bad enough, but it was the second one the day after as I went back. He said, yes, you need a tooth out really quickly. Well, you need two teeth out. We'll do this one, not this side, like tomorrow he was saying, and the second one the following week, and plus like a deep clean and whatever, it doesn't matter. So I was thinking, right, I have to do this. So my fear hasn't lessened, it's gone up. So the second day I went in for this treatment again. Husband had to basically push me through the door, and I got in the chair and I was doing all this. It's my thinking. Now I know this is my thinking. I've seen this where it's been thinking before, but it didn't help, because what I wasn't seeing and what you might not be seeing, you're hearing it, or you can think, yeah, I can see how it was a thinking, but it was more than that. It was a story I was making up with these thinking thoughts, and I wasn't in the present of the now of a dentist putting me out of pain, which lots of people who don't have a fear of dentists say, oh, well, you're just going to the dentist, he's going to help you. But when you have a fear, you don't see what's really in the present moment. You're in the story within your head of all the fear and all the torture that's going to happen to you. So anyway, I'll not be on too long. After the procedure and taking the tooth out, well, before that, I was saying to him, you need numbing gel before the injection that numbs my mouth and everything. I'm saying, stop if I do this, stop if I do this, and whatever, telling the dentist what he'd not to do. Anyway, he'd done the procedure and everything, and as I was thinking all the way through, I didn't realise living from this story of terror. While I was spitting out, and my hand was shaking and I was crying, a grown woman crying and shaking, but this is what fear does to you. In that moment, I suddenly saw, all the time I was trying to convince myself it was me thinking, but what I saw in that moment is, oh wow, it was an actual story, and the story was so real. I was living from the story I was making up in my head. I wasn't in the present moment of what was actually happening, which was the dentist has been so kind and gentle and putting me out of pain without any pain. Didn't feel nothing, but I was feeling the horror story in my head. But in that moment, flash, bam, I saw it. And also in that moment, I knew I was no longer scared of the dentist, but I never was scared of the dentist. It was a horror story within my head about the dentist. But as soon as you're aware, as soon as you see it, it's gone. There's nothing to do to get rid of it. You see what you do. You see you've been living in that horror story. So wherever your fear is, look again, look past the thoughts. Look to what that story's telling you. And lucky for me, in that moment, it fell away because the next week I had to go back and have the other side done. But with no fear, no one had to take me. I took myself and I was a completely different person because I had a different story going, which a lot of people have, is the dentist is just going to get rid of a bad tooth with the least pain, with the least discomfort possible. Not scared. So that's just another story for fear, and I really hope it helps you. Okay, bye.